Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Monday, September 27th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just new to charts, you want to learn more about them as a tool and how they can be used to help make good decisions, then this will be a video for you. Very quickly, before I get started, please just keep in the back of your mind that if you like what you see as I go through the video and you want to learn more about technical analysis, then I do want to personally invite you to a free live online class here that I'm offering this upcoming Thursday. So if you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box that you can click on to get signed up. Or if you're watching at claytrader.com, my site, then somewhere right on the webpage, there's going to be an area that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, just keep it in the back of your mind. And if you like what you see, you want to learn more about how this tool works and how it can be used to build consistency, then I want you to get signed up for the class. First stock, ticker symbol CEI, our good friend. I think I've done this one for literally, I think the past 3 weeks. It continues to make the top 10 list. But when you have days like this, I mean, what am I supposed to do? It's got to be on the top 10 list as the overall trend, let me squeeze this down here, continues. So to think that when I first started doing this thing, I don't know, it was down around 40 cents. Now it just went up over $2 today. Sure, it pulled back, but overall, fantastic looking chart. And, you know, just a classic example of why technical charts work, why they're a tool that's worthwhile and not perfect. So I don't want to come across like technical charts, are the holy grail. Nothing is perfect, but they certainly are a valuable tool. And we have a very real life example of this. For those of you that watched a video that I did previous of the top 10, talked about this $1.95 area as resistance, and it was broken. But there's a rule in charting which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them then act as support. So, I mean, check this out. Price broke out, big move, pulled back, and look right where the pullback just happened to stop. Right around that previous breakout area. Again, our chart's perfect. No, nothing's perfect, but they are a very valuable tool. And here is just a real life example of that playing out. So moral of the story there, $1.95 would be considered an area of support moving forward. And so far, so good to see that area act as support. So continue to watch that. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these lines for now as they've served their purpose for the time being. But from a more of an overarching standpoint of support, continue to watch that purple line right there, the 50 period simple moving average. Keyword there being moving. So that line will continue to move itself higher and higher, which is basically like a trend line that's going to draw itself for you. So as long as the price stays above that uptrending trend line, then by default, that would imply that the overall trend is still, very much so in the bull's favor. As far as areas of resistance are concerned, nothing fancy or complicated here other than the fact of, let's use a different annotation tool. Other than the fact of, the parting momentum stopped today right up there at the 225 mark. So keep a close eye on that. But all in all, big picture wise, higher highs and higher lows, that's what it's all about. And that's how uptrends are constructed and exactly how this one continues to play out. Next one, ticker symbol MRIN. And things were looking a little shaky for this one on Thursday as volume basically fell off a cliff. Everybody seemed to have forgotten about it. Price gap down. But that's how these stocks can work. They can appear like, oh, everybody's forgotten about them. And then just like that today, boom, back up to life it came. So certainly some very interesting dynamics here headed into next week. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these lines as they played their role for now. But the first level that really stands out from more of a support and pullback perspective, let me change that over here, is going to be, nope, let's try that again here. It's going to be right here at, let's see, what is that? The $9.40 mark. You can see very clearly that, mid-afternoon, the price spent quite a bit of time around $9.40. And eventually, not only did it hold strong, provided it as a little bounce point and back up, the price is gone. So if there are any sort of pullbacks, while it's not guaranteed to bounce at 940, again, charts are not all about guarantees. They're not perfect, but by no means is 940 some sort of random area on the chart. So for somebody to say, I think I might want to buy at 940, you couldn't say, well, that's just a random area. What would make you want to do that? Well, you could come back and say, well, the fact that it's gone down there and bounced before. So while that doesn't mean that it's going to bounce again, it at least makes it a valid thought process to have. So keep an eye on 940 if there is any sort of pullbacks. And then as far as levels of resistance are concerned, we have this resistance trend line right there that I can see presenting some issues. That doesn't mean that it can't be broken or anything like that. All I'm saying is that if there is any sort of move back to the upside, I'd be very curious. Could the price actually push up through there, or would it be one of these situations where it would need to pull back again? That obviously all remains to be seen. But in my mind, those are definitely going to be the two key areas headed into next week. Next one here, ticker symbol AMC, and just a pretty blah type of day. I don't say that in a bearish way. I don't say it in a bullish way. It really didn't do much, and sometimes that's fine. I get it. It's exciting when stocks are, showing a whole ton of volatility, a whole ton of movement, but that's not required to happen every single day. And that's what we have here. But at the moral of the story, the good news is that the price not only has continued to stay above 37.70, that green line down there, but I mean, as of now, the price isn't anywhere close to it. So that's, like I said, kind of a nice little miniature victory in and of itself. In terms of, hey, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute best going forward? That would now be if the price can stay up here above 39.25. You can see the price has been down there on a couple of different occasions, including this morning, and has held strong. So if the price does go down there and fall below it, I'm not saying that the entire chart's totally destroyed or ruined or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, if the price could continue to stay above there, that's going to certainly make the chart look the healthiest. If there are any other sort of bounces in the upwards direction, yeah, you still have $44, but that level's relatively irrelevant right now because the price isn't anywhere close to it. The more so near-term level of resistance that I'm very curious about is going to be that resistance trend line right there. So keep an eye on these dynamics, and we'll see how things play out next week. Next one here, ticker symbol AEHR. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful chart here. Great way to end the week. I mean, huge volume, very nice movement, and then a good solid, classic technical pattern here is formed. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be watching this pattern, and I make that comment because when a lot of people around the world are watching the same patterns, wondering the same things, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movements. So let's get some of these levels mapped out here. So the first part of the pattern is more so just, where the price struggled quite a bit today. And that was up here quite clearly around $16.50, give or take a little bit. But you can see whenever the price got right up around there, it seems as though, the momentum just disappeared and the price never made any further progress. And then along with this, there is, very clearly a nice little uptrend line that is formed throughout the course of the day. So I'm going to change that to green to represent more of a bullish dynamic here. And then to make this all maybe a little bit easier to see, let's just change this all to one color. So we have the resistance there, we have the support there, and then this big movement there would be known as a pull portion. We'll put a hole down there for you golfers out there to make it more visually friendly. And we have ourselves a nice bull pennant pattern. So headed into Monday, very nice movement, very nice pattern. Gotta like how volume dropped down during the consolidation area of it. And as any volume analysis, will tell you, that's what you want to see. During consolidation, you want to see volume drop off. That's what happened here. So not just a question of, are the bulls going to show back up and make the move to the upside? Let's see what happens with it next week. Next one, ticker symbol UFAB. And I don't want to say I am disappointed, but I don't mean that in a bearish way. I'm just disappointed because, when I was looking around and saying, all right, which ones do I want to put on? I was looking at that area of resistance saying, okay, cool. I can definitely talk about that being the key resistance area that, will need to be broken because there's, very clearly that it seemingly has stopped going down. The price has at least started to go sideways, but I mean, can it turn itself upwards and get the breakout? We'll see. And then the last 30 minutes, the price broke above that area. And I should have noted way back when, but I'm doing 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks, as recalled, represents 30 minutes worth of time. So again, the last 30 minutes of the day, and now that I think about it, given it's Friday, the last 30 minutes of the week right here, nice little upwards move and actually broke outside of the pattern, of this sideways movement. But that does now bring a whole nother element to the chart because now the question, becomes not, okay, can this thing make a move up? Is this some sort of bottom? But now the question is, hey, look, it's broken. Is this the start of something bigger? Is this momentum going to carry into next week? So that'll be the main dynamic. And I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of that level there because it served its purpose. But as far as now near-term levels of resistance, first key level that the price is going to have to, push up through, going to be right there at $3.63. And then after that, next key level up there right around that $4 mark. So keep an eye on those couple levels right there. But again, the very interesting dynamic all revolves around the fact that final 30 minutes, price made the move, price got that initial breakout. Not just a question of can this momentum build into next week? Let's see what happens, but certainly a very interesting scenario. Next one, ATER. Been doing this one quite a bit. And, I'll be honest, I thought I might be doing this one today, but under much different circumstances with the price having broken down through that pink line right there, which is the very famous, very well-known 200 period moving average. But yeah, totally got that wrong because not only did the price just do a good job of hovering above that pink line, but then later on in the afternoon, got a nice move to the upside. So like what we just looked at with UFAB, the breakout has happened. So to kind of illustrate that real quickly, there's just the miniature trend line right there, and you can see the break has happened. So that just leads us into the question of, okay, step one is complete, right? If there's a box checked, the breakout has occurred. Now the next box that needs to be checked is, can this thing get more momentum? So the first, and let me take a step back. As far as supports are concerned, nothing has changed there. It's still all about that pink line right there, the 200 period moving average, like I said. And so far, so good. The price is held above there. So that is going to be the main area of support headed into next week. But as far as, okay, well, yeah, it's broken out. Can there be some more momentum? Well, step one is going to be, can the price now get up above that purple line there? The very well-known 50 period moving average. And you can see, again, the power of charts. What a coincidence that this thing was moving. And then right when it got up by that purple line, it just like, okay, almost like a little mud pit. And the price just started spinning its wheels and couldn't make any more progress. Now, the price can certainly, make progress next week. I'm not saying that's impossible to do. I'm just saying it makes sense why the price is struggling around that area. And if there is going to be any sort of further, progress made, then a key area of resistance in my mind going to be right up there at 1450. So step one, got to get up through that 50 period moving average. And then after that, next key level will be up there at 1450. But all in all, a very impressive afternoon. Next one here, we're going down into the world of penny stocks, TGGI. And what is very, very fascinating about this one, first off, it's just a penny stock. So if you like to trade penny stocks, here you go. But the first fascinating bit is, and I don't mean to state the obvious, but just building context, very, very impressive uptrend, right? You can't really deny the fact that over the past several days, it's all been all about higher highs and higher lows. So the uptrend is there. But now what makes this very, very spicy, if you will, is look at the last 30 minutes. Big pullback. Now, does that mean that the entire chart's destroyed? Of course not. No, look at it from the big picture point of view. Does that mean it's reversing? I mean, it couldn't mean it's reversing, but right now to call this a reversal just doesn't make any sense because there's still plenty of wiggle room here. Now, I would use the word pullback. Right now, it seems to be a pullback. Now, if this thing keeps going down, well, then yeah, pullback can always transition into using the terminology of reversal. But to call this reversal right now, in my mind, is way too premature. But the point here being is that there's clearly some panic that's shown up, but it's panic within the context of an overall uptrend. So if you're somebody that likes to look for uptrends, look for situations where there's a pretty intense pullback all of a sudden, well, then here you go. You have a very nice circumstance of that. And like I said, really uptrends don't get any better than that. You have the 50 period moving average, nice upward slope, 200 period moving average, nice upward slope. Then you have this, downwards movement here. So if you do believe in the overall trend, then this right here could be a very, very interesting technical, entry point. You definitely don't have to worry about, I don't know, am I chasing the price? Am I suffering from FOMO? Absolutely not. Like I said, you got the pullback here. So like I said, if you are somebody that enjoys finding bigger pullbacks within overall uptrends, here you go. Next one here, ticker symbol TSLA, Tesla, and what a day. What an absolute day. And once again, just the pat charts on the back here. I've talked about this level here over and over again, that pink line in past charts, the 200 period moving average. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Look, gap down, look right where the price bounced off of today, right at that pink line. And from there, it just kept going and going. And check out the last 30 minutes. Big surge in volume, very solid green candle. So overall, impressive day. And now, as you can see here, I'm having to squeeze back the chart quite a bit because it has not been this high. Oh, wow. There we go. It has not been this high for, we're talking months upon months upon months, which brings about the next very interesting potential battleground point. Is that all? In fact, let me just change to the daily time frame real quick. Are we about at? Okay, no, not quite. Let me zoom back in. So now each one of these represents 1 day's worth of time, which is what you normally see. So no longer on the 30-minute time frame, but that other time frame, 30-minute, was just getting way too hard to see. So next key level of resistance, keep an eye on very, very closely, is right up there at, let's see, what is that? High of 781. So 781 is coming from that area, which was back in mid-April. So mid-April, next level of resistance, and I mean, given how fast this one's been moving, might as well map out where the next potential area of resistance would be, and then that would be up there right around the 802 mark. So definitely a great day today. Overall, beautiful uptrend. I mean, you can see if I were to draw a trend line like that, just fantastic trend line, great way to end the week. So let's see if this momentum carries into next week. Next one here, ticker symbol NAKD, another penny stock here, and very straightforward. I like how this one has two very well-defined areas. First level is just simply where the sellers are clearly hanging out, and that sits right up there at the 72-cent mark. Several times today, the price got up around that general area, couldn't quite push through it. So if you're a breakout player, then that's really the level that every breakout player and their brother's uncle is going to be watching and wondering, can the price break up through that area? So keep an eye on that area. And then if you would consider yourself more of a pullback player, a couple of interesting areas. First level right here at the 65-cent mark. I mean, you can see price bounce from this morning, and then later on in the afternoon, several times bounced off of 65. So that would be one potential pullback point. If you want to be a little bit more high maintenance and require a bit more of a pullback, then the former breakout point down there around 63 would be another potential pullback area. But all in all, anyway, look at it. Great movement today. You got to like how during the price movement pullback, that volume also drop down, which again, like I mentioned earlier, from a volume analysis standpoint is what you want to see. So overall, nice setup here. Got the pullback. Not just a question of can this trend continue to build upon itself next week. We'll see what happens. Next one, SNDL, another penny stock here. And the big dynamic that happened today was the price actually broke down through this area of support that hadn't been doing such a good job of holding strong. I mean, 68 cents, several times back there held strong. And even throughout the course of today, held strong. And then it was that 130-minute candle that finally broke down through there. So a big technical level of support has now been violated, which, doesn't guarantee anything, but it does, offer up a signal that it's looking like the bears are maybe getting ready, to pick up that much more momentum here. So moving forward, and this is just based on a foundational rule in charting, when levels of support are broken close below, they tend to act as resistance. So if there is any sort of attempted bounce in the upwards direction, 68 cents will be that first key level of resistance. If the price can push up through there, next key level would then be that purple line, again, the 50-period moving average. As far as levels of support are concerned, as you're seeing, in fact, okay, there we go. We are going all the way back here to May for this next area of support, which is down there at the 65-cent mark. So like I said, if the price does get hit 65 cents, and that's as low as it's been since way back there in May, and that's definitely going to be, the next level. The one interesting thing here is last time it got down there, I mean, look what happened next. Now, I'm not saying that's for sure guaranteed going to happen, more of just an observation. But yeah, 65 is a very, very fascinating area for that reason. So if the price does get down there next week, we'll see if the price can first off hold and then see if it can produce any sort of bounce. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw, if you want to learn more about this tool and how to use it to build consistency as a trader, then like I said, offering a class totally free, live next week, Thursday, September 30th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely get signed up for it if you want to take your understanding of this tool to another level and build confidence with it and, eventually establish consistency. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, if you would like for me to continue to make these, then please let me know and communicate that to me by hitting the like button and leaving a basic comment. It could be saying hi, a number, a ticker symbol that you plan on trading next week or that you traded today. But those two things go a long way in communicating to me that it's worth the time and effort to do these videos. And as long as I know that it's worth it on my end, then I have no problem continuing to do them for you. But all I ask is for some feedback and to let me know by doing those two simple things. And again, if you want to learn more about charts and technical analysis, then definitely get signed up for the class next week. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully you all had a great week. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you back on Monday.